Alright, we're trying this again. We're doing it. It is I back with another video. So, my friend Kaylee graduated from high school today. It's a very momentous occasion. Congratulations. You go out the world and have adventures and make something of yourself and, start the life. So I started to do this playlist around the idea of, I know a lot of young people. Some of them are younger than Kaylee, some of them are older than Kaylee. But I always felt like, man, I wish I had someone tell me X, Y, or Z. If I could wind back the clock, what would have someone tell me? Or what I wish old me would tell high school graduate me stuff that I probably need to know going forward. So I built this playlist around kind of that idea that if I had to sit down and tell the kids in my life, leave them some kind of, here's 10 or 12 songs that probably, if you want to learn something or, go out in the world armed with some knowledge, this is probably the playlist you would sit down and listen to. There are some songs on it that I try to be as diverse as I could be as far as advice songs. There's some good advice songs, there's some bad advice songs, there's some classic advice songs. The most classic advice song that's on this list, it's very, very old school. It's The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. And that song has probably the most pertinent advice I've ever gotten or listened to from any source that I've ever gotten advice from, because it's applicable to any situation that you're in 9 times out of 10 in your life. You really do got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, know when to walk away and know when to run. Also, never count money in front of anybody unless your job is cashier. Counting money in front of somebody is usually a bad idea because it just denotes you don't trust them. That song is on this list. Other songs on this list that I felt like were good advice songs, or songs that I felt like that were timeless and kind of applicable. Don't Worry, Be Happy, always solid. There's a Bible verse, I forget what the verse is, but what it says is don't, I can almost quote it, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring worry of its own. Because that's just true. Like, you can't fix tomorrow. You can kind of fix today if you, and this is probably the thing I would stress most to most of the people that hopefully will hear this. The now is probably the most important thing. Whatever 5 minutes you're in, the people that are around you, the stuff that they're saying is really the most important thing. Even if it seems insignificant. If somebody's like, hey, let's go have coffee, it's probably not just coffee. It's probably legitimately they want to spend time with you because they got something on their mind. Or they need somebody in that moment. And if this year's taught anybody anything, it's that nothing is insignificant. Everything But the Truth, which is a good Lucinda Williams song. The lyrics in that song, and literally the lyrics in most of these songs are just chock full of stuff that I think really people of any age really need to hear on occasion, but young people especially. Everything But the Truth is a song that I guess I heard it maybe 10 or 15 years ago. I'm kind of a low-key Lucinda Williams fan, and she's not for everybody, but the title I was like, oh, Everything But the Truth. I went and listened to it again. I was like, oh yeah, if I were 15, hearing this song would probably have helped me out. Another classic that's on here, and I did not pick the Stones version. I'm just going to tell you now. I did not pick the Stones version of You Can't Always Get What You Want. But you can't always get what you want. There's a bunch of times where you want this thing, whether it's a person or a Ferrari or an ice cream cone. Sometimes you can't get it. And in a society that's increasingly disposable on a lot of levels, you end up losing the value of perseverance and patience. Sometimes the thing you want isn't for you to have right now. Sometimes you gotta work to get it, because when you get it, if you work to get it, you appreciate it. If there's some struggle involved, the struggle is kind of part of the journey. And that's something that took me a long time to kind of understand. Unanswered prayers is kind of the same way. It's just like, sometimes stuff's in your path and it's not for you. Like there aren't any, like the song kind of says, and it's true, there aren't any unanswered prayers. I think every time you pray, your prayers get answered, but it's never the way you think. The story never unfolds in the way that you want it. You can pray for your heart's desire and you can get it. Part of the question in getting, if you ever get what you want, part of the question is living with it. And life is littered with people who got what they wanted, and it wasn't really what they wanted, it's what they thought they wanted. And that's hard. And when you're younger, that's not something that you can really grasp until you lived it a little bit. My dad's finally saying that I paid for this information so that you don't have to pay for it. And a lot of these people on this list went through their own things, and they paid the price to write the song to give you the advice. As I'm shooting this thing has 10 songs on it. I think I'm going to add 2 other songs, for which I'm not going to say what they are. That probably be the surprise portion of the playlist. But I feel like this is a playlist that in the end of it, probably way after I'm older, or when you get older, or when the kids that are younger, who will probably stumble upon this later, will see it and be like, oh, well, what was Ed really saying here? What was really going on? It's probably me reaching across time and going, everything's going to be all right. No matter how hard the day is, no matter what you're probably going through or what you're questioning, at the end of it, everything really is going to be all right. There's 2 things you probably need to know. There's probably 2 legit things that I can tell you that kind of will transcend time. One of them is everything will be all right. The second one is the only constant in the universe is change. Everything, all the time, is always going to change. The challenge in life is your reaction to change. You may think something's going to go a certain way, and when it doesn't, you have to react in a way that is the most conducive for you growing and achieving. That's really what I can tell you. It's the best advice I can probably give anybody. And so that's what I got. This is the advice list. So KK, happy graduation. Have a good time. Be safe. Enjoy this playlist. And there will be new videos. I gotta get back on the horse. So we're still doing it. So we're gonna drop another video and playlist tomorrow. So good night. Good luck. We'll see you on the flip side.